Shot Sports, guys. We're here. We're back with Fantasy Flojo here. How you doing?
Yo, pleasure. Appreciate you guys all for having me, man. What a better time of the year, right? Draft season around the corner.
Absolutely.
Football's around the corner, right? Combination of fantasy, football, neglecting your family on the weekends.
Exactly. I mean,
Life is good.
I mean, I've been following Flojo for a while, and all the advice you give and the picks and stuff like that really hopefully helps my fantasy football this year, because I came in third place last year.
We'll see. Text me your team afterwards and
Right.
let you know, bro. See if you should have listened a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
I text you before. Should I pick this person?
Hey, $20, I'll draft for you, man.
It all depends where you draft too. You know,
It's true. Different strategies.
That's got a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we already know you want to draft that.
What's that?
I mean, Hong Kong or somewhere, what is it called? Games and Games?
Yeah.
Where the places you go to?
Hey, there's some wild stuff that goes on.
You don't know. There's always haymakers going, left
He's a
and right over
Dolphins
here.
fan.
I'm a Dolphins fan, so that's why I get it left and right. You know,
Sorry, bro. It's been a long-
I get it from someone. He's a Raiders fan, someone who hasn't won in the
right.
last 40 years or whatever. And someone who
Okay.
thinks that they're going to repeat this year. So we'll see.
It's been a long road for you, man. I feel your pain. Raiders too.
Yeah. Nothing since the Dalton. Since Dan Marino, though. I mean,
I know,
We'll
man.
see.
Dan Marino's still a god.
Still got on Tecmo Bowl.
He's goated.
Yes, he is.
If you have to blow your thing and move
Dan
to the
Marino
right,
and Bo
Nintendo.
Jackson. Those are the two guys we wanted to have in Tecmo Bowl.
Absolutely.
Unbeatable, unstoppable.
Unstoppable, either one.
Good times.
So, I mean, there was some news going around, but I saw that Garoppolo's back on the night.
Okay, so
Discount.
We could talk about that, right? The chin, Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Good looking dude, right? But he's been ghosting the team ever since before he had the surgery, right? So he let nobody know about him doing that procedure.
Oh, really?
Hurt the Niners really bad, right? Because now he can't throw.
Right.
He's on the mend. No one's gonna take the risk and offer a draft pick for a guy that they don't know if his shoulder's gonna be okay. So he did us dirty. He's still in the squad, right? From a team aspect, I'm not mad at it. You restructure his contract. You have someone that's a decent backup.
Yeah.
But the reality is, man, is John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's future depends on Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
100%. So you know what I'm saying? It's do or die for them. If he doesn't hit, everyone's out.
How are you with Trey
absolutely.
Lance? Are you in with Trey Lance? Or?
Okay, so
yeah,
we're talking about fantasy, right?
Yeah.
He's going late enough, 9th, 10th round, especially if you play in 4-point passing touchdown leagues.
Right.
Okay, generally rushing quarterbacks, huge advantage, right? Because if I run one in, I get 6 points. You throw one in, Matt Stafford throws one in, you get 4.
Right.
Right. So not only are you getting the rushing yard upside with an athletic quarterback, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts,
Right.
Trey Lance. These are the type of guys you can get later in your draft. Build your squad, get your RBs, get your running backs. Take a player like that.
Right.
It's going to give you a positional advantage based off of that rushing upside. Trey Lance is an athlete, right? Big, strong, fast. When in doubt, I trust Shanny to script right plays for him, right?
Yeah.
Make sure that we're doing play action. We're doing, making the field smaller. Whatever you do for a rookie quarterback to make the decisions less for him, to allow him, the least amount of opportunity to make a mistake. And if it's not there, throw it away or run.
Right.
He's not as big as Josh Allen, who likes to lower the shoulder, get his tackles in himself too. But not only that, but I think Trey Lance, what he cannot do is go and take hits like RG3 used to do.
Get hit.
No.
Exactly.
RG3, he didn't last long because of that.
Hey, He came from Shanahan's system, right? Shanahan put RG3 on the map. He knows how to utilize those players. Trey Lance a lot bigger than RG3. RG3 was taller, but he was light in the pants.
Yeah, he was.
Right? Skinny dude, maybe a little bit more athletic,
Yep.
but more prone to injury too. So I think Trey Lance is big enough. He's sturdy enough. He's strong enough to be able to sustain a certain amount of hits, right? It's still the NFL. Is it going to be Josh Allen? No way. Josh Allen, by far, my favorite quarterback in the NFL. No one plays the position better, right? Fun, young kid, running dudes over, getting first downs.
He's a stud.
Bringing that team together, extending drives, man, doing what you're supposed to do at that position. You can't understate those qualities as a quarterback, right? Because these are grown men, millionaires looking to you to lead them, right? So if you don't have certain aspects to your game,
right,
and then you back it up by balling, it's going to be hard to win somebody over, right? So Josh Allen's a stud.
Yeah, Josh Allen, he's a stud. He's a California kid too. Yeah.
No love out of high school.
Fresno State, nobody.
Let's be real. When the
Wyoming
Bills drafted him, everyone was pissed. They wanted Josh Rosen. His first year looked terrible. Okay, but you got to hand it to him, man. I don't know if you guys know who Jordan Palmer is. Kind of the QB whisperer.
Yeah.
Amazing guy, right? Came out, put in work, changed his stance, changed his throwing motion, which is very rare for a player that's already in the NFL to have to do all those things. Paid dividends, man. More accurate, more ball velocity, quicker with his decision making. And now he's the best QB in the league. Maybe Patrick Mahomes will give him a little run for his money, but
No, he's great. I was just wondering if Shanahan was a little nervous on the start last week and said we got to sign Garoppolo. Shoot, we got to get Garoppolo back.
I'm sure it crossed his mind, man, because Trey Lance, I don't know, it was a little suspect, man. But I mean, that's what those games are for. You get the butterflies out. I think it was mostly. Yeah. He looked like he was way off. I mean, but then he comes. You look at the other game and he killed it. So it was just something. I guess he just got to get out of the system.
Roller coaster, man. It's a rookie quarterback. You're gonna have those ebbs and those flows, right? He's gonna have to grow and learn from his mistakes. But you talk about that defense. You talk about those weapons.
Yeah, Debo.
Ways exactly right. We got pieces, and the way you protect a young quarterback, bubbles, slants. Out routes, passes. Get the ball in your playmakers' hands and let them do it for you. Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Elijah Mitchell, we got pieces for days and a good D. So
that defense is key, man. A lot of people forget about that defense.
Except the guy that dropped the pass, the interception.
Oh man,
that's the only reason.
I'm gonna bring it up because
that's the only reason you guys made it to the Super Bowl.
It's the only reason.
I was at that game. I watched that live, man. That was really depressing. Hurt my soul. Everyone's celebrating. We're like, I got to get out of here.
I was there, but I was getting a beer, and I heard. I was like,
dropped it.
Yeah.
To be fair, the Rams receiver dropped a wide open touchdown too. So I was like, I guess we're even. Couldn't get it done, man. Look, Rams are an amazing team, returning everybody basically. I think they're the best odds to win the division again. Have to be respected, right? Sean McVay's a great coach. Defense is legit. Cam Akers, my guy, he's coming back. We could talk about him. Some people love him. Some people hate him. But I'm all in, man. I love Cam Akers.
Since we're talking about the Rams and the Bills, your projection as to who gets to the Super Bowl.
Great call.
That's a NFC AFC.
You just called it?
Yeah. Is that what you're calling?
No, I'm just saying. A lot of people are saying Bills, Rams in the Super Bowl. It seems to be the trendy picks.
Look, bottom line, AFC's loaded. Okay?
Yes, it is.
So many great teams. That
They're
AFC
loaded.
West is stupid. Who knows who's going to come? I got the Raiders finishing last, bro.
So do I.
And a lot of high hopes. Obviously, Davonte Adams is a stud. Great signing for him. Him and Derek Carr got history from college.
Yeah.
Easily, I don't say easily, but
who you got winning that division then?
I got the Broncos, bro.
See?
Whoa.
What I tell
Everyone
you?
can.
What I tell you guys?
Wilson, I mean,
I said
Is it because of
Broncos.
Wilson or?
Of course, man.
Look at the team,
That's
though.
the only piece that they were missing. They had a solid D. They got young players. Javonte Williams is an absolute beast. Cortland Sutton is getting slept on. Jerry Judy's nice.
they still have Melvin Gordon too, right?
Melvin Gordon too.
Yeah.
He's the thorn in everyone's side. If you play fantasy, we were waiting for the unlock, right? Don't resign Melvin Gordon. Javonte Williams, he could be the most talented running back in the league, man.
Yeah.
Literally, when you break down his metrics, everything pops in. Force missed tackles, right? That's all that matters. If I'm in a hole and I can make you miss, right? Every single time almost, I'm one of the best players in the league because that's hard to do.
So what do you think? Broncos first, who's second in that division?
I mean, look, a lot of people are writing off the Chiefs because they lost Tyreek Hill. I get it, but in my opinion, man, Patrick Mahomes is the second best quarterback in the NFL. I'm not writing him off.
Yeah.
They still got pieces. Losing Tyreek is, a big problem.
Juju. They signed Juju.
They signed Juju, so Juju's a player I like. 7th, 8th round a lot this year.
He doesn't have that speed.
No.
And
And you can't coach that stuff either, man. The stuff they were doing.
Yeah.
Backyard rules, bro. I'm scrambling. You're the fastest guy on the field. I'm going to throw it as far as I can. You're going to catch it.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Go get it.
You can't script that kind of stuff, and you can't replicate that. So
that's the only problem I see with.
I don't know how
with Tyreek Hill. I don't know if he can get it that far.
I don't know why they let him go. Like that piece. I mean, that was like you said. It's just something you can't coach. That's just something natural.
About money now.
Always.
So you got the Chiefs second.
And
San
then
Diego?
Chargers.
I mean, sorry, not San Diego, but
San Diego, yeah.
The Chargers.
And the Raiders.
San Diego.
And the Raiders. All right.
That's what.
Hey, wait, someone's got to pay half of your guys' rent, so you know what I'm saying?
Oh, the Raiders.
Right.
All the fans come.
So
does
exactly.
Levi
Niners
South
too.
too. Levi South, they come and pay. We welcome them.
roll
Nice.
deep. We roll deep.
We play mariachi for them. DJ.
Towards the end of the season, we'll bring up
LA,
we'll bring up this conversation and get towards the end of the season. I seriously don't think they're going to be the last ones, but
I don't know. A lot of people are saying that.
I mean, I'm just a Raider
I got
fan, I
people
guess.
say
Right?
the Chargers are going to win the division. Like,
Hey, man.
Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe.
Justin Herbert's man, he's
Herbert's a
beast, too.
stud.
Yeah.
He's a
He's an
stud.
absolute stud.
He's got a mullet
He
going right
grew
now.
his hair back, bro. Hey, the hair
back, yeah.
long hair is dangerous, bro. The league doesn't want to see Justin Herbert with long hair. Let me tell you, he's an absolute stud. Broke rookie records, possibly Marino's, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did.
So you want to talk about a loaded AFC West? You want to talk about top 6 best quarterbacks in the league, 4 of them maybe being in the division. Russell Wilson's a stretch. Sorry, not Derek Carr. Derek Carr's not nowhere near that.
I was a suspect on Derek Carr too, man.
Well,
I mean, I just wasn't.
but he gets it done.
Okay.
But does he?
No, he doesn't get it done.
He's like Jimmy G, bro. You guys are going to get to the
Jimmy
playoffs
G
and
done
lose.
more.
He does a little bit more.
Jimmy G's won a Super Bowl, NFC Championship. I mean,
You got to factor in squad too, right? So everything is all perspective, right? Context, however you want to paint the picture. Jimmy G got.
Jimmy
Niners
G.
squad got us to the playoffs, not Jimmy G.
Jimmy G is a big favor. He beat the Cowboys, beat Green Bay in Green Bay because we couldn't do that.
But was that Jimmy G? That wasn't Jimmy G.
I know.
He threw a pick on like the 5 where he completed like
Yeah,
4
that-
passes.
Lose the game.
Ooh, man, that was scary. I was like, yo, don't throw it, don't throw so many times, man. And
That was a Super Bowl too. Remember, he overthrew it.
yeah, exactly, against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But see, okay, so here's my point. If we want to get into that a little bit, is the reason why they had to draft Trey Lance. Shanny did not trust him to make that play in that moment.
Right.
Okay, if you can't have trust in your quarterback to make that throw,
Right.
to win that game, no one cares who came in second, right?
Right.
No one's going to remember the Bengals. Everyone's going to remember the Rams. So if you don't have a quarterback that's able to make that throw, make that play in that moment, you're not going to win a chip. And if we're not chasing chips in the NFL, man, I don't know what we're doing.
Right.
So.
Well, speaking of, I was going to ask you, did you hear Dana White talk about he brokered a deal with Tom Brady?
Man,
Yeah,
some
it's-
And Gronk on the
juicy
Raiders?
stuff right there.
Yeah, man. When I saw that, I'm like, please tell me this is a lie, dude. Like, this guy's bullshitting or something. But
Brady wouldn't have had
man,
7 rings if he went to the Raiders.
Never
That'd
know,
been
bro.
crazy.
I
That'd
counted
been
out
crazy.
Brady.
I know.
I counted out Brady, and I had to learn
know
the
how
hard
to
way,
count
bro.
Brady.
That'd have been
He's
crazy.
done, bro. He's
He almost
washed.
got us last year.
Man, hey,
Oh my God.
big throw. See, look,
Yeah.
Matt Stafford made that throw to Cooper Kupp in that moment, right? So that's the type of player you want. That's what's going to win you those close games, and
Right.
that's what.
So you said Jimmy G didn't have that?
Nah, man, absolutely not.
He's never shown it.
No.
And
He, he can manage a
He's a
game.
good
He's good to
quarterback.
manage a game.
Yeah.
But when you need, like, let's say you're 10, 14 points down, and, it's, 3 minutes left on the clock.
He's not your guy.
That's not your guy.
Yeah.
He's not Aaron Rodgers.
But he's better than most
he's not
quarterbacks
Russell
in the league right
Wilson.
now.
Yeah.
He needs the 85 Bears. He needs the 2000 Ravens defense.
Yeah, well,
he
yeah.
needs something like that
Yeah,
to
exactly.
be able to carry him. The Niners were close, right? But I mean, they weren't
Yeah,
a generational.
Yeah,
type
they
of
weren't
team.
an offensive threat.
Yeah.
Like that. You're right.
Well, they
you know,
got
but-
Debo. These are offensive threat. He freaking kills us all the time.
And carried the squad on his back. I'm so glad we paid him. He deserved every
He deserved
penny.
it.
That would have been a bust, man. If they would have let that guy
He
go.
was going to
for
the,
real.
he's talking about going to the Raiders.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't want to be a running back. He's going to run a little bit less, I think, this year than he did last year, because that's the one thing why he stuck to his guns and why he didn't want to sign, because he doesn't want to be considered a running back.
Whatever he does, we couldn't stop him. Jesus.
That's the thing. Shanahan, his style of football is smash mouth football.
Run the ball, yeah.
So a lot of guys get hurt because of that. If you look at it, throughout the season, one of the teams that usually has most of the guys go out hurt, the Niners. Why? Because they play really rough ball.
Right.
Look, I don't think he didn't want to run the ball. I think he wanted to get paid to run the ball. So they incentivized his deal. I think it's pretty low, man. 500 rushing yards. I think he gets an extra couple mil.
Uh-huh.
He wanted to get paid for that. In my opinion, that is Debo's game. You take that away from him, he's not the same player. He's not a Davonte Adams.
No, he's
right?
not.
He's not going to be a technician, a route runner. He's not going to do the things receivers do. His strength is, I'm going to line up in the backfield. I'm going to do an end around. Okay, I'm going to run a counter. I'm going to run a trap, and I'm going to run someone over. Right? So he is technically a running back. He just wanted to get paid for that. And like I said, I'm glad he got his money. Ask any other Niner fan if there's one player that you would want to define your team, it's Debo.
Yeah.
You know?
All right,
He's
so
like Debo on Friday. He's like Debo. He'd be knocking foot.
Hey, bro. Taking chains, dog. Debo's taking chains,
My
man.
chain.
Yeah.
since we got Fantasy Flojo here,
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the nitty gritty.
Let's go, fantasy.
Fantasy football. Everybody wants to know who should you go after first in your fantasy drafts. Is it a wide receiver, then a running back? Where should you get your quarterback?
Draft strategy, right? Talk about this all day. A lot of people want to know, who do you take at the 101, right? The very first pick of a draft. Safest pick, Jonathan Taylor. We saw what he did last year.
Absolute.
Most leagues are either half PPR or full PPR now. If you play in a standard league, it's kind of dinosaur-esque, right? in my opinion, I'm a no risk it, no biscuit kind of guy, right? So I am definitely down to pull the trigger on a Christian McCaffrey, on a Saquon Barkley, on these kind of players where people are going to be like, never again am I drafting these guys, right? These are the guys that are going to win you a championship. If they go down, they go down. It's a risk any player in the NFL has, right? Injury prone, however you want to paint it, the possibility always exists for any player. So in the first round, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, first 2 picks in my opinion. Okay, a lot of people are Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. They're taking them early in the first round this year.
Well, Jefferson, in most of the, drafts that I've seen, they're going as high as number 2.
And that's risky in my opinion. Okay, because the wide receiver position this year is so deep. You get players late in drafts, Cortland Sutton, Allen Robinson, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. Right. You get receivers that have put in work and have done it before in the past, that have proven that they could be a wide receiver 1, which is either a wide receiver that ranks between number 1 to number 12, we'll put them in the wide receiver 1 category. You got players like this deep in your draft, man, that are going to return heavy value. In my opinion, I'm an RB heavy kind of guy.
Yeah, me too.
Because that dries up real quick. So you want to talk about first round, I'm not taking a Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, or Jamar Chase, unless maybe it's 10, 11, 12. But I like DeAndre Swift. I like Saquon Barkley, end of the first round. Aaron Jones is a great value pick. And then maybe
he's going to have to run a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, Lazard might have a big year this year. Yeah.
So Lazard possibly too. But here's the thing: Green Bay Packers most vacated. The Chiefs are the most vacated targets of any team in the NFL. The Packers, I think, are second or third. Okay. Usually, vacated targets go to your running back. Okay. Aaron Jones is probably the best player on that offense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hyper targeted. 80 receptions easy for Aaron Jones this year. The only thing is, recently I just had 3 drafts yesterday. And I didn't get Aaron Jones in any of my leagues. I got A.J. Dillon a little bit later. Okay?
Yeah.
I think he's a better value, apples to apples, getting him in the 4th, 5th round. He's going to see 200 carries. He's going to see goal line work. You saw those quads, man. They call him Quadzilla. He's already put it on tape too, man. So my guy runs dudes over, has Aaron Rodgers stress. He could actually catch out of the backfield. You know how it gets cold in Lambeau, right?
Yeah.
Who's one person you don't want to tackle?
Exactly.
It's 0 degrees.
Big dude.
Yeah.
Big dude, right?
Big dude.
Go for his legs or just go dive on the ground and avoid all of that, because that's a bad look for you getting trucked. So I do like AJ Dillon a lot this year. But like I said, I've went RB. There's a couple 3rd round wide receivers that I've been targeting, right? Mike Evans. You got Chris Godwin a little hurt.
Mike Evans.
He's always hurt.
He's always hurt, but he's supposedly he's going to come back. He's going to be ready for week 1. I don't believe it. So you want to talk about Tom Brady. You want to talk about the most pass attempts in the NFL last year. I trust Brady. I trust that offense. Mm-hmm. Mike Evans, man, 6 consecutive seasons, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Book it in his sleep. Yep. Okay, so I like Mike Evans. A.J. Brown got traded to the Eagles.
Yep.
We remember what he was on the Tennessee Titans, man. Hyper efficient, doesn't need a lot of targets to do work, can house anything, right? Big, strong. Not as nice as Debo when it comes to running the rock, but really talented player.
Yeah.
Nice athlete, big dude. Okay, so I like him. And then everyone's darling this year, man, Michael Pittman Jr. I think he's a stud.
That's a huge dude too, man.
He's a big, tall SC represent,
SC,
right?
yeah, SC,
so he's another player that I'm starting to grow on. I personally don't believe Matt Ryan is an upgrade from Carson Wentz from a fantasy perspective.
Right.
I think the Colts went out and got him to win those close games, right? To be a better real-life quarterback, to be more efficient, to be more accurate, to not lose the games Carson Wentz was losing for them.
Right.
So it's a better real-life fit, in my opinion. But those are some of the receivers that I would target in the 3rd round.
So like let's say most average league is like 10 people,
12,
right?
yeah.
10 to 12. Let's say 10. So you're pick number 4. And then you got the next pick at whatever that is. What is it, like 6 or something like?
So you would go 4 to 12 and then 13 back down. So you'd be...
So you're like in the middle, let's say, and starting. You picking a running back. Let's say you lost Saquon, all the good ones. Who you picking back to back on those two? Like if they're available.
I'm at 4, I'm hoping Austin Eckler is there.
Eckler?
Right? I think 20 touchdowns, he's going to have a TD regression.
Right.
I still like him. You talked about Justin Herbert. You talked about that offense. You know what they're going to be. And Austin Eckler is a stud in my opinion. So I'm hoping to take him at 4.
4.
And then on the comeback, if I can get a Javonte Williams, if Saquon falls, DeAndre Swift won't
Cam
be there.
Makers. What about
Cam Makers a little bit later, right?
later.
So
yeah, he's like a 3rd. Yeah,
soft tissue coming off the Achilles. Everyone has that memory of him coming back in,
Right.
playoff run, dude's washed, right? Not the same. We got to remember, man,
Right.
earliest to ever come back from an Achilles injury like that, and the Rams saw top 5 defenses in all 3 of those games.
Right.
So I personally Cam Akers is one of my guys. He's fallen to the 4th round right now. Everyone wants to talk about Sean McVay runs running back by committee, right? Yeah. Nonsense. I dug into the stats. I just did a post today on Cam Akers. Every single running back in Sean McVay's system, since he's became the head coach, right? 19 carries a game, 60% opportunity share. Okay, there is no running back by committee that exists. Cam Akers is his guy. If he came back from injury on Achilles, he's like, yo, you're in, bro. Yeah. Right? Right? He's his dude. He trusts him. He wants him to win. And to me, he's a dynamic special player. Love Cam Akers in the 4th, man. You can get a discount right now because everyone's a little worried. Plus, he was, a little hemmed up in the preseason in practice. So it's scary. Like I said, I'm not mad at you for avoiding him. But like I said, I'm not risk adverse, and roster construction is another big thing, right? So if you take you take a Saquon, you take a CMC, you better take some safe players behind them, right? You can't have all upside and no player that's going to get you 10 points, because you need that roster balance, right? You can't go home run, and then you're like, damn, I struck out. Yeah. So you need a couple singles and doubles to build your roster, man, and that's super important.
Yeah, because most leagues you got the 2 running backs and a flex, right?
And then 2 receivers and
2 receivers. So the flex, you can. The times I've ever won, it was because I was good on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
That waiver wire is key.
You've got to be smart about that.
I mean,
you got to be active, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing is if you're checked out, you're not watching anything, you're not fresh up on this dude got hurt. This is the new RB1 and that's my guy. I mean, that's how you win leagues too, man. You got to be super active. You got to be negotiating trades, right? One of my specialties. I love doing a little finesse, right? I like soft feelers. Yeah. Can never trash their players, right? There's an art to the trade negotiation, right? And I got a post about that too. But it really is. If you don't deliver and you're not presenting the case perfectly, you're going to turn someone off, right? This guy sends trash deals. He's always talking bad about your players are like your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said, what about my guy, bro? Like, hell no, I'm never doing a deal with you. So, got to be smooth with it, man. And, if we have time, we can get into that.
Well, fantasy's funny, man, because it's like, I'm a Rams fan, and then one year I had Russell Wilson as my quarterback. I'm like, how does this I want you to do good, but not that good.
Right?
Not this game.
It's like when you bet, man. When you bet, and it's like, damn it.
Your team is no longer a thing, like, man. What the fuck? I want my $100, bro.
You'll watch games that otherwise you would have absolutely no interest in watching.
Red Zone. I love the Red Zone for that. I mean, geez.
But is that not the beauty and why so many people like it? Yeah. Especially the NFL. Right now, they got someone watching, Cleveland, Houston, right? And no one would ever watch that game.
Ever.
Well, you got Nick Chubb or
Cleveland will watch
you got someone else. Now you're like, put this on real quick. You got the ticket and you're watching games that don't matter, man. And I think that's been so huge for the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about an amazing money generating business.
Yeah, the NFL, man. I can't wait. Can't wait.
In the fantasy, who's the surprise pick? Like, there's always that talk, like, man, no one really out of nowhere just comes up and it's like, man, just killed it. Like Kareem Hunt, right? That was when he first came out.
With
him, like Kareem Hunt.
With KC, I think, what's his name? Someone got hurt, someone went down, something happened. I think it was Damian Williams. Kareem Hunt stepped in and balled out.
Yeah, and I had him, so that's why I was like, I didn't even know who it was. I think I had I don't know how I ran into him, but I picked up Kareem Hunt. And everyone was like, who the hell is that guy? But then that guy ended up killing it.
Balled out, man.
So, I mean, this year, who's that Kareem Hunt?
So that's a specific situation based off an injury, right? Where you're not really expecting that.
Right.
If we're talking about surprise players, mentioned Juju already, right? He's going 6th, 7th round. We've seen him. He had a top 8 overall season with Ben Roethlisberger, I think his first year in the league.
Yeah.
So he's already produced. He's already put it on tape. Now he's going to Patrick Mahomes, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They lost Tyreek. They have vacated targets.
Yep.
They still have Travis Kelce, but I think he's going to operate as the 1B. And in my opinion, I think that's the player that's going to return nice value based off where you draft him. Another cat, Allen Robinson, my guy. Okay, Alpha. Like, we forgot, the dude balled out on the Jaguars with Blake Bortles, right? He had back-to-back wide receiver 1 seasons with the Bears with terrible quarterback play.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
He mailed it in last year. He got exactly what he wanted. He got traded to a contender, best quarterback of his life, back shoulder. His ball skills are, in my opinion, he's got to be top 5 in the league. I think Davonte Adams is first. And
you got Kupp going to be double team regarded, and you got, I mean, it's going to be.
Man, I
think he's a sleeper.
I love Allen Robinson. Yeah. I'm trying to get him on every single one of my teams. And then, last but not least, I'll go with Marquise Hollywood Brown, right? Got signed to the Cardinals. Okay. Him and Kyler have a connection in college, right? They've done work in the past. Kyler Murray, okay? Best deep ball accuracy in the NFL, Okay, what does Hollywood Brown do?
Right.
My man goes deep.
Yeah.
Right. So they have history, they have connection, metrics line up. DeAndre Hopkins is suspended for the first 6 weeks. Okay, so I look for them to get out hot. That's a player you want to draft. Look to trade week 4 or 5 when DeAndre Hopkins is coming back. Try to maximize that value. Maybe get an RB wherever you're lacking on your squad. Try to improve your team.
What about tight end? There's always a tight end that like has a, it's always one tight end just has an amazing year. Like it's like one of those guys. What do you
I
think?
got my pick
Let's hear it.
from Baltimore. Likely.
Bro, they got Mark Andrews though. Likely he's not going to see any targets. He's a stud. He's a nice dynasty
he's-
stash.
But there's always that one tight end, huh? It's like,
Well, he looks good. I'll give you that. But like in my opinion, there is very few players, especially a player like that's going to see enough volume to create a return of value for your team. Everyone's talking about Kyle Pitts, right? He's going to the 3rd round, a little expensive in my opinion, but the dude is special. He's different. I think he either broke or tied Mike Ditka's record last year for, I believe it was a 1,000-yard season. He didn't score any touchdowns, right? So he's going to probably score more touchdowns.
Right.
They got no weapons in Atlanta. They did draft Drake London, SC represent, right? But it's Marcus Mariota.
I had Pitts last year.
Yeah. So, and he did, I traded for him and he wasn't great.
Yeah.
But I think one of my favorite later round tight ends that I've been targeting in all my drafts, right? Dalton Schultz, Dallas Goedert,
Schultz.
what's his name? Ertz on Arizona.
Yeah.
So those 3 guys, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th round, okay, in my opinion, is better value because if you take Pitts in the 3rd, you're missing on a running back or a
that's
wide
too early.
receiver.
True.
So I personally don't like to build around that.
No Darren Waller?
So, he's been hemmed up with a little bit of a hammy too, but they got Davonte Adams, right? So that's minimum 150 targets
That's going to
that
free
are
up
going to be
some
gone.
stuff. Yeah.
Possibly open up the field for him. You got Renfro, so but where's the ball really going to go? Because before it was just him and Renfro.
Plus, Waller might be in jail in 6 weeks because he's in Vegas Raiders.
Anybody on the Raiders. Anybody on the Raiders.
Raider.
That's all right, man. It's all right.
But hey, look, Waller's a stud. I had him everywhere last year. I took him in the 3rd, right? That was one of my strategies. RB tight end. Didn't pay off. I got burned. So you got to pivot. You got to make moves. You got to do what you need to do in order to stay competitive, right? If you feel like that is lacking in your squad, figure something out, make some moves. That's why you draft deep, so you can move some players, man, and basically help your starting lineup.
All right, so before we finish, where should we draft a quarterback?
Not early. I love Josh Allen. We talked about him. He's my favorite quarterback in the NFL. He's going to the 3rd round. Don't do that. So if you are in a 4-point passing league touchdown, meaning your quarterback gets 4 points for a passing touchdown, love Lamar Jackson in the 5th, Jalen Hurts in the 6th, Trey Lance in the 9th, right? I'm taking rushing quarterbacks in those rounds because, in my opinion, that's a positional advantage where if I run one in, I get 6 points. I'm getting all my rushing points for yards rushing too, so I love those values. If you're in a 6-point passing TD, I love Russ Wilson, right? Tom Brady, a little bit later. So you're talking about 7th, 8th, 9th round. Matt Stafford, Joe Burrow's going a little bit later. Wait for players like that. Like I said, build up that starting lineup, get that depth, get those RBs and receivers. Take that quarterback late.
That's what I usually look for a running quarterback. Like always a running quarterback.
Cheat code, man. That's a cheat code of fantasy for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
But then you get the risk of like a Kyler Murray get hurt. But
yeah, my man needs to finish, man.
Yeah.
Always starts out amazing. And
8-0 and then
it's good for our league. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can go 8-0 and go.
Yeah, right? I know. That's what he's hoping for that.
he got paid. He got paid this year too.
and he got paid.
Who's the other guy in Seattle now? Who's it? Geno Smith?
Yeah, Gino. Gino's getting those.
Seattle's going to be terrible.
They're hoping to get Garoppolo.
Well, hey,
they were banking on that.
They said we're playing week 2, so he's like, I ain't trading them to you guys for week 2, man. So
Shanahan cockblocked that day.
Yeah, he sure did.
Well, you know what? It's Take Shot Sports, so we usually take a shot here, or you take a shot at someone.
Okay.
Who would you like to take a shot at?
Man,
There's some shots right here.
you guys handle those. I'll take.
We'll
pass them around.
Do we have to take a shot before we hear your shot? Let's see. Let's see what it is.
Yeah, because I got to.
Pass
You know what? You know what I want to do? I'll take a shot. I'm going to take a shot at all the Saquon Barkley haters. Okay, these dudes are injury prone, man, and especially I got one buddy, and I don't want to put him on blast, but that's the dude I'm taking a shot at because my man thinks he called his injury. I don't know if you guys remember Saints game. I think it was week 2 or 3, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley's back. Right? He stepped on that dude's ankle. Freak accident. He's like, yeah, it's because he tore his ACL. I'm like, come on, bro. That's so weak. Like, you're going to base that freak injury on that. So I'm taking a shot at my boy and the Saquon Barkley haters this year. Watch my man return value, top 5 RB.
Okay.
Saquon. Well, I'll take a shot to that.
And with that, we'll take a shot to
Take
that.
a shot of that.
Thanks,
Salud.
Fantasy Flojo, for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having
Big
me,
Shot
man.
Sports,
Make sure you
guys.
follow Fantasy Joe on your Instagram.
Yeah, bet.
Absolutely.